Hey guys, happy Monday. It's a Monday day of opportunities. Today I'm going to be flying to the US because I have some new opportunities too. So, hope that's good for you guys as well. Monday is the day that we can make stuff happen. So, if you like some of these daily nuggets, just like and subscribe. And today I want to talk about, can you buy property under $30,000, even less than that? And if you can, does that make sense for you to buy? So, the obvious answer is yes, you can buy property that's under $30,000. Can you buy it in your backyard? It depends where you live. I will say that, in my right now, many of you know my favorite market is Cleveland. If you're interested in Cleveland, DM me. I have many resources. You can DM me or you can email me. I'll put my email down here. Um, it's hard to get a deal in Cleveland that's 30,000 or under. 50, 60, and they still need work. They work tremendous though for the Burr method. There are markets that you can get 30,000 and under. And if you're going to buy tax deed property where basically people have the right of redemption for 1 year, which they 99% of the time don't come back. We're doing in the counties around Pittsburgh tax deed property. So there you can definitely buy property under $30,000. And we're doing ridiculous renovations. One of my students is leading that. So you can buy now. You can also buy in other places, other markets under $30,000. I'm just telling you a couple places that I know, but it doesn't always make sense. Just because you can buy something cheap doesn't mean that the deal makes sense for obvious reasons for most people. But let me just explain when it does make sense. So if you're going to buy a property for 30,000 and it needs 100,000 in work, and houses fixed up around there are selling for 75,000, you're going to be in the thing for $130,000, and they're all already worth like 75,000 fixed up. Doesn't make any sense. Now, there's many markets like that. And when markets tank like they did after 2009, that's how you can find value. If you can buy a property for under what it costs to build a property, that's always a place where there is an inefficiency in the market. And it's not going to happen overnight, but in a 5 year period, you will definitely make money. Like I remember in like 2010, we were buying in Florida. The cost to build a property was like, maybe 155,000. And well, this is not in like Miami or whatever. These are in different counties all over Florida. But maybe you could buy a property for 125,000, 150,000, but it would cost more to even build those properties if you just bought land and built on them. And Florida, everybody's moving there, this, that, and the other thing. Right now, it's not the best market. I think it's due for well, it's already getting a correction, but I think it's due for a bigger correction. But let me get back to the subject. Now, if you can buy a property for 30,000, put 30,000 in it, and the ARV is 75, $80,000, that's a great deal. And you're going to super cash flow, especially if you beat the 1% rule, which is 1%. So if your total investment is 60,000 and the rent is 1,000, well, first off, if your total investment is 60,000, for you to beat the 1% rule, you have to get 1% of 60,000, which is 600 per month in rent. And that obviously beats it. So if you could beat the 1% rule, that's great. So there are a lot of markets, even if you can buy for 50, 60, 70, $80,000 and you're putting 50,000 in the prop. Like if you're going to buy a property for 80,000, you put 50 into it, you're in for 130, but it's worth 200. It's a great deal. But you have to look at all these things together. What is your total investment and what's it going to be worth when you're done? Just because it's under $30,000 doesn't always make sense. The properties that are around Pittsburgh that we're doing, you can buy tax deed property under $30,000. You can spend 80,000 and they are going to appraise for 180, $200,000, major equity in those properties that they make sense. But there are some markets that you can buy a property for 30,000, put 30,000 in it, and they're only worth 55,000. For many of you, you don't even know that markets like this exist. I'm talking in the United States, and there's plenty of markets like this. So if you're living in California, New York, Hawaii, Florida, and you're, 400, 500, 600,000 is your entry point. If you want to learn how to invest in real estate, wouldn't you rather do it with less money in the deal? You have less to risk. And those markets, I'm telling you, in my entire career, I personally think if you're a long-term investor that wants to be a landlord and cash flow, these are better markets, totally better markets. So, yes, you can buy property under $30,000. There's many markets you can do it. You can email or DM me. I can point you. I have, markets that are beat the 1% rule. There's many markets you can be in a property for $100,000 total and will rent for over $1,000 a month. But make sure your total investment is not more than what the property will appraise for, the after repair value. So hope that helps you guys. Have a spectacular Monday and the best day of your life. Thanks, guys.